Hello again, everyone. I am Gary Godsoe, and welcome to Velocity Online Racing's coverage of Round 2 of Season 15 of the Velocity Online Racing Signature Series, the IndyCar Championship, as we come to you today from Mexico City for the very first time in the inaugural running of the VOR Grand Prix of Mexico, the first of 3 road races this season, and the first and only non-road course sprint race that is on the calendar. Vogelzang currently goes to the top with the best laps so far, as initial laps are coming in right now, the timing and scoring. This is a 2.64 mile course, fixed setup provided by the league. Group 1 is still out there, and I'm seeing Julian with some time, Silvazzi with some time, Law with some time, and Clegg now at the provisional top of the line, top of the charts with the provisional pole.
And this is where I expect to see some of the speeds pick up, because we're talking about, in some of those cases, some of the drivers that have a lot of pro experience and know how to adapt. I'm curious in particular how Sullivan does here today, and we have a crash!
Ooh. He got right across the nose of everybody going in. I think that's turn 1. So Sullivan's going to have to do a reset. Currently right now about 6 minutes left here in qualifying, as we're going to go to another session after this. But Clegg, Solwedge, Lal Eftink, and Silvazzi, your top 5 provisionally. And there is Hunter Ingrave, one of the names that I told you that you might want to keep an eye on through this race. He was 6th. He gets dropped to 7th as O'Sullivan keeps the car underneath him and puts together a good lap and brings himself up into the top 5.
Here come the drivers in the reds. This is your pole position shootout now, and your top 6 cars coming on track. Well, 5 of the 6. Fraser Clegg has yet to come out of the pit lane. Everybody else has to get a move on. They may get a lap, if not a very tight second one.
Currently on the racetrack is your top 6. Clegg, Solwedge, Ingrave, O'Sullivan, Lal, and Eftink. Another good showing for Altena Autosports. 3 cars from their stable in the Fast 6, and Lal to the top with a 117 flat. O'Sullivan into the 116s with a 116.9. And there is that improvement of time you were talking about, Justin. Good call.
Oh, and a crash!
Big shunt for Eftink coming off the final corner in quarter 12, and he doesn't get to the start-finish line, and he is going to run out of time. That is going to pretty much lock him into 6th spot.
We were just talking about this with the producer, Howie Burrows. Tight radius, went wide, went across the curbing. That destabilized the car. Hard contact, and it breaks the car. Don't think, and he definitely didn't put up time. Clegg is down on the pole, though, in the 116.6s.
Clegg ups it to a 116.679. He is 3/10 over O'Sullivan. And I think that is it. Everyone has taken the checkered flag, and that is going to conclude qualifications for our inaugural Grand Prix of Mexico. We do have the grid ready. We will bring that up and show you, everybody, the starting grid today from Mexico City in the inaugural Grand Prix of Mexico. Clegg with his first career Velocity Online Racing IndyCar Championship pole, the 116.9, and that is 2/10 faster than the next closest car. And that is Liam O'Sullivan, your points leader and ruled winner from last week. But he sure would still like to take the checkered flag on his own right here today. He is on the outside of the front row. Hunter Ingrave will start 3rd. Watch him. He finished 3rd in the Elite Racing League's P1 IndyCar Series Championship a season ago from this racetrack. Lal is in right next to him in row 2. Solwedge, who finished 3rd in last year's championship, is in row 3. Eftink with the big shunt has been locked into the 6th spot. Then we move on back to row 4, Silvazzi and Altena. And I suspect Both of these guys both have road course wins in the Velocity Online Racing IndyCar Championship history. We will see them come to the front. Not with a bad start, and you mentioned Jesper Dahlgren, who is going to recover from losing the win at Fontana. He is not, he doesn't really consider himself much of a road racer, but his road craft is always improving, and he is starting 9th here today. We'll see if he's able to work up any higher in the order. And then Vogelzang, we'll watch him too. He had some pace during practice and qualifications. He lines up in 10th. Moving on, we got 44 Nation Christensen right there in row 6, and Dufresne on the outside of row 6. Tim Bree and Chris Rice in row 7. Saucier and Vince in row 8. Charpentier and Stock in row 9. Row 10, we got Cannert and Fiolis. Then we move on back to the last portion of this field. Dan Inch right next to him as our defending series champion. Again, he says he is still learning on road courses, and these are these races that he circled on a lot. We talked about circling on this calendar, just you drive to survive here. That's Clindy's going to be his strategy here. He is way back in row 11. We'll see how his day unfolds from back in the pack. Then we got Muriani and Ortiz in row 12. Then James Watson right next to him, a name we're going to be watching coming up through the order, and we're going to see how many spots he improves. On lap 1 is Luis Nunez, former series champion. He lines up on the outside of row 13. And then finally on row 14, we got Seigers and Gruthist. They round out the remainder of this pretty good showing today for the league and the drivers. 28 cars here